what's happening, everybody? Welcome to another cartooning courses here at a brand spanking new location. Can you guess where I'm at? Okay, it's not totally brand new. I'm downstairs. I left the studio for this recording and came downstairs to record this in a brand new spot for today only. I may be down here eventually some other time. I don't know. It's kind of nice. But yeah, upstairs I'm replacing some blinds and the sun is beating down and it's hard to see. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go downstairs and do today's cartooning course right down here. So that's where I'm at right now. I am downstairs. And today what I thought I would talk about is I talk a lot about getting clients, marketing, getting your work out there, and then bringing in income from client projects and from work that consists of your illustrations or cartoons. But what if you really don't want clients? What if you just want to do a cartoon series, or you want to do a graphic novel? You just don't want anything to do with any client projects, anything like that. All you want to do is create some art, whether that be, again, a comic book, whatever it may be, and that's it. You don't want clients, anything like that. So what's the best way of going about that to get that accomplished? So there's a lot of different things you can do, obviously. What I'm going to talk about today, though, is, throughout my life, I bring it up all the time, all the day jobs I've had, and I have had a ton. And day jobs are something not to knock and put down. It doesn't mean you're not even professional. There's a lot of syndicated cartoonists out there, or cartoonists that you would think were just like killing it with their work alone, but they're not. I've been an example of that too. I've worked so many day jobs throughout my life to get by and do, whatever it is I was seeking out to do with my cartooning. And so no shame in that at all to go out and get a job. And I'm assuming right now you probably have one, or maybe you're looking for a job, but if you have a job, you are probably working, doing something. So I just want to mention what really worked well for me when I was trying to do certain projects, and I didn't want to hustle and get those clients in or anything like that. Sometimes you just want that paycheck, and you'll do whatever it takes so you can just, focus on your work and then go to your cartooning. Maybe not in that order, but you know what I'm saying. And what I have discovered throughout my many years of many day jobs and you name it to get by is I've always tried to find work that pertains to not even cartooning, but this just has a good schedule and aligns well with my art. And I'm going back a ways. This is what I've done in the past, but for example, one of the best jobs I had was, believe it or not, being a merchandiser at Nestle. I'd get up at 5 or 4 a.m., drive my car to numerous different grocery stores in the area, and stock shelves with ice cream and pizza. And okay, you're probably thinking to yourself, that sounds like hell. And it had its moments. It's not always easy getting up at 4 a.m., and it was on the weekends too. It was Saturday and Sundays. And throughout the week also. So I had no time off or anything, and I had to, be disciplined, go to bed early. But the thing about that job, as crummy as it may sound to you, was the freedom of it, and it worked well with cartooning. Now, let me explain. When you get started that early, you're off early. I was home typically about 11 or noon. And that gave me the rest of the day to focus on cartooning projects, what I was working on. Or, I had all kinds of things. Throughout my life, I've done a lot of different things. I've worked on books, I've worked with clients, whatever it may be. But just back when I was doing this, I was trying to get actually into a full-time cartoonist position, which I eventually did in Los Angeles. So that time allowed me to do it. I was able to crank out material, build up my portfolio. My website was beginning to build out. I decked that out with as much of my best content that I had, and that landed me the position in LA. So it worked. I took a job that had nothing to do with cartooning, nothing at all. Stocking shelves, ice cream, pizza, there's nothing there. But that job, though, the hours were great for cartooning. Something else, too, when you're doing that kind of work, you really don't have to think too hard about it, okay? It's pretty, I don't want to call it simple, because it was a hell of a thing to do. Getting up that early, and you had to lift a lot of ice cream and pizza. It wasn't easy. I'm not going to say it's easy, but I my mind could focus, though, a lot of times on other things because it was kind of a redundant job of just doing the same thing over and over. And once you get in that flow of doing it, I was able to think about, ways of going about cartooning, what I needed to do to get to that next level that I wanted to get to. And there's no boss breathing down my neck either. This was all, I took my own vehicle to these different stores. It was just me, myself, and I doing this job. And so I was, going about doing it and just getting it done. And, something else too, the pay actually wasn't bad for what it was. The pay actually was pretty good. So my point being, if you ever find yourself not wanting to do client projects, but you really want to mix that work with getting your creative juices going with either, again, a book or whatever it may be, try to find work or do work that really works well with your schedule, and try to set that up for yourself so that it's a lot easier. So you're not, killing yourself working 9 to 5 and then getting off at 5 and going to the drawing board. If that doesn't work well for you, maybe try something else that does. For my example, it was an earlier job in the morning, and I did that, got off early, and then I was, from noon until 5, 6 o'clock, I was, cartooning, getting all that cartooning stuff done. So keep that in mind, and that would eliminate then also any clients or anything that you need, because you'll have that consistent income with whatever it is you want to do. But I'm saying this too. Don't feel like you need to have like a artsy profession or anything to do what you want to do. I mean, obviously, stocking ice cream and pizza again has nothing to do with cartooning. Nothing. The only thing I can say it did add to it was you meet a lot of interesting people in the grocery departments. I will say that. So I gathered a few ideas, I believe, from doing this position, but it worked really well. And what's the definition of professional? Like, one thing that used to always eat at me was, if I'm doing that, does that mean I'm even a professional? I'm working at a grocery store, but am I a professional cartoonist? Everyone has their own definition for it. My feeling is, if you're making money off cartooning, then you are a professional. How much money, though? What if you get paid $5 by your Aunt Sally to do a Christmas card? Well, there's a fine line there, I guess. But when I was even doing the work with Nestle, I had a lot of professional work out there, and I was actually getting paid with cartooning and for other things at the time too. So it's like it all came together, and I still consider myself a professional cartoonist, and that mindset I feel is important too to have throughout anything you're going through, anything you're doing. It doesn't hurt to call yourself that if you are, if you are to that level, or if you're trying to achieve that level to get to become a professional, have that mindset that you already are. It helps. What the hell does it hurt? Nothing. It doesn't hurt a damn thing. It makes you think that you are, and I had that back in college when I was doing work for the college newspaper, and I've showed my work for that before, and that it was pretty shitty. It really was. And I always say it. I'm not saying that to beat myself up or to be negative. It was not that good. But at the time, I felt I still had a mentality of I was doing really great professional work, and I was a professional, and it panned out. Eventually, you do, figure out your style and get better and better and better as you draw and draw and draw. So keep that in mind. If you're working right now, doing whatever it is you're doing, don't feel bad about it. Don't feel guilty about it. My advice, the big takeaway from this is, if you can work somewhere and adjust it to work with your schedule so you have time for cartooning or whatever it is you want to do, just try to do it. Try to do it. Because, we all have lives. You may have a big family too. You may have 10 kids. I don't know. And finding time has always been people's biggest reason for not doing things. You hear it all the time about like going to the gym or something. I don't have the time, or I don't have the time for this. And I get it. I get it to an extent. Time is very valuable and it's limited. So I do that with not only cartooning, but a lot of anything I'm trying to do. I try to adjust my work to fit in whatever the big goals are and what I'm trying to do. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you took away some good advice, and go out and kill it with whatever it is you're trying to do with your work. That being said, too, I just want to bring up right now, I still have enrollment open in Cartooning Courses Pro. Yes, I do. I shut it down for a while. It is open right now, though. Unless you watch this at a certain time when it's closed, but enrollment is still open right now before the holidays. So if you want to take your cartooning or illustration to the next level, and in that I talk a lot about client work and actually making profit off your cartooning with books and publications too. There's a lot in that, a lot in it. But I have a link below. You can check it out and see for yourself if you'd like to give cartooning courses a shot, Cartooning Courses Pro a shot. I'm going to let you go for now. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you soon.